Hi everyone, my name is Jimmy Yu. I'm a high performance coach here at Complete Performance Coaching. I specialize in working with athletes age 8 to 18, so youth and high school athletes, both individual and team sports related. So today's Q&A, I'm going to talk about that fear to perform. What happens when I develop this fear to perform? What is it? And some ideas on how to deal with it. So I'm going to give an example today. Actually, first, so what I mean by that is that fear to perform. For sports like gymnastics, I'll even say slopestyle skiing and MMA fighting, a mistake can result in, a physical injury, right? So for those sports, that fear develops because I don't want to get injured. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want, in like MMA fighting, if I make a mistake and I get hit, I don't want to get knocked out. I don't want to have a broken jaw, right? So there's that physical fear that develops with individual sports like that. Today I'm going to focus on team sports and that idea of that fear to perform and what happens. So team sports like track and field, cross country, football, basketball, baseball, lacrosse, soccer, all those sports, it's more that mental aspect. And whether it's gymnastics or that these team sports, it's about, letting a team down, performing poorly, and that's where that fear to perform starts. So to give you an example, I'm going to say that a soccer player, let's say they're playing in a game and they have 3 kind of open shots on goal, right? Every time they're wide open, it's just them and the goalie. First time, they take a nice hard shot, misses the goal, right? Second time, it hits one of the pipes, bounces off. Third time they hit it right on goal, but that goalie makes an amazing save, right? So in those moments, like I'm developing with athletes that are really hard on themselves, and the main thing is like they start to think about what did I do wrong? And, they're upset at themselves for performing poorly. But on the other side, maybe they look in the stands, they see mom and dad are like, oh man, like what's he doing, right? And I look over at my coach, or they look at their coach and the coach is like, come on, like try harder, get that in the goal. And I look at my teammates and they're like, I don't know if I should pass to him again. Maybe that's just me thinking in my head as an athlete. So I develop that fear. So what happens next? I get open again, or that player gets open again. And instead of taking that shot because they have the best look, they pass it off to somebody else. So there's that fear to perform. I've given it up because I'm scared that I'm going to miss again, or that the ball's going to be saved, and 2, like that I'm going to lose this game for my teammates. So again, like losing for someone else, I'm letting somebody else down, and that's where that fear to perform develops. All right, so some ideas, some tips. Let's say I've had that poor performance, I'm experiencing that. What do I do right now, right? First, like reflect on it. What I ask athletes is, think about things and journal it. Things you did well. And to me, that's the hardest thing for most athletes is, I don't know what I did well. I suck today, right? That's the first thing they'll say. And even if they had a good performance, most athletes can tell you maybe one good thing they did. And it's like, all right, got that one good thing. What did you do poorly? And they can tell you like 10,000 things, right? I did all these things poorly. I got to do better at this, right? So get all that on paper. Write that all down. Get your emotions down. For me, when I was playing in college, I didn't like journaling. So I didn't journal. But what I did instead, and this was pre-cell phone, pre-smartphone, after a game, walking out of the gym, walking out of the locker room, I'd pick up a landline and I'd call my answering machine, right? And I would vent to my answering machine, oh, this game sucked today, or hey, great job today, you did this well. And I would always, so again, I'd vent to my answering machine and I'd always leave it with, don't forget, tomorrow, practice this. Practice something to get better so the next game we either don't make this mistake or we improve on this. All right, so reflection, journal it, write it down so that you can review it again, you can remember it, and if you set a goal, you remember that goal for later. All right, secondly, if I can't think of anything and I'm just like, I don't know, like I'm just kind of stuck, go talk to your coaches. Go let them know your frustration. Go ask for help. All right, a lot of times athletes think, if I go talk to a coach and tell them, I don't feel like I'm playing well, I get really nervous right now, I don't want to let anyone down, it's a sign of weakness, and maybe the coach will be like, oh, you're just a wimp, like I'm not going to play you anymore. It's really the opposite. You're building that relationship. You're putting yourself out there to trust the coach and to get advice. So go talk to them. If you can't think of it yourself, and really talk to them anyways. Ask them how you're doing. Have them help pump you up. Talk to them. Talk to a teammate. Third, so this is what as a coach, so I'm also a lacrosse coach. I coach youth and high school athletes. I tell them to go into practice, go into games with the mindset of train to compete in practice and play to compete in competition. And what I mean by this, so after every practice, after every game, I ask my athletes, what did you do well? How did you make someone else better today? And in practice, if I go hard, if I give 100% effort as an athlete, I can say I made my teammate work harder today because I went 100% on them and they responded. And my goal in games is, to play really hard, give a lot of effort, and focus on my best game so that I hopefully get your best game out of you as an opponent. Because I want to play to get better. I want to play to be the best. And I can only do that if I play and have my competition play up to that as well. So getting that mindset of play to compete in competition, practice to compete in practice, right? So how do I do that? The last thing is, to do that is I focus on this. I tell people to focus on this acronym, WIN, right? Go out there and win, all right? And that acronym stands for what's important now. And that acronym was from Lou Holtz. He is a legendary football coach at Notre Dame. And what's important right now? I want to focus on those little things, not the don't do this, don't suck today, or I need to go out there and I need to be the best, I need to score 100 goals today. Not setting these huge expectations, but focusing on what's important for me right now in practice. The little things to make me better. When I'm in a game, what's going to help me score that goal? What's that little thing I need to do? Right? So what's important right now? Win. And lastly, I get a lot of athletes that say, I don't feel supported by my coach. I don't feel like my coaches and teammates are very positive. So what I tell, again, is this idea of give to get. I got to give out positives. I got to give out positive, specific praise to teammates, maybe my coaches and my parents. Just give them some positives. And again, direct something small. Maybe it was just, hey, Johnny, you did great today. You went for every ball. You went hard after it. There were sometimes you messed up and missed, but you gave 100% effort. That was awesome. Great job today. Right? For parents, hey, you cheered me on great. You didn't yell at me. You were really supportive. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for being a great cheerleader. Right? So give to get. All right, so those are my tips for today. So when we develop that fear to perform, reflect on it, write it down, or talk to your phone, or call your answering machine if you have it like I did. Talk to a coach. Remember, get the best out of your teammates, get the best out of yourself by training to compete in practice and playing to compete in competition. Win, right? What's important right now, and give to get. Give your teammates, give your coaches, give your parents specific positive praise in hopes that, one, it creates that environment where everyone's doing it and that you get it yourself. All right? Okay, until next time, take care.